You think you can still fix your own car. You can't. And the worst part? The manufacturers planned it that way. You're not stupid. You're not lazy. You've watched the tutorials. You've bought the tools. Maybe you've even done it before. Changed your own oil, replaced a sensor, swapped out brake pads without paying some dealership $300 for a 1-hour job. But lately, something changed. You pop the hood and it looks like a spaceship. You plug in your OBD scanner and the code means nothing without another $200 tool. You try to reset a simple sensor and the car won't start because it doesn't recognize the part you just installed. You're not imagining it. It's getting harder. On purpose. And if nobody has told you why, that's exactly the problem. Here's what I'm going to show you today. It's not just about complicated engines. It's not just about modern technology. There is a deliberate, calculated system built by manufacturers, enabled by governments, and protected by dealerships, designed to make sure you never successfully fix your own car again. And buried inside that system is one specific tactic they use that most people never even realize is happening to them. We'll get to that. And when we do, you'll understand why your repair bills keep going up, even when nothing major breaks. Stay with me. Here's what most people believe. Cars are just more complicated now. It's technology, it's progress. Of course it's harder to work on them. They're more advanced. That's just the price of having a safer, more efficient vehicle. That's what they want you to think. Yes, cars are more technologically advanced. That part is true. But complexity alone does not explain why a Toyota will show an error code and refuse to function after you install a brand new, perfectly compatible headlight bulb. Complexity alone does not explain why certain car brands will void your warranty if a dealer detects that you checked your own oil with an aftermarket dipstick. This isn't evolution. This is a business model. Let's go a little bit more deeper, because this is where it gets interesting. Modern cars are not just machines anymore, they're software platforms. And just like your iPhone won't let you install apps from outside the App Store without fighting you every step of the way, your car won't let you interact with its own systems without going through the manufacturer's approved channel. Think about what's inside your car right now. Dozens of ECUs, electronic control units, all talking to each other constantly. Your engine module, your transmission module, your ABS system, your steering system, your fuel injection, all networked, all communicating, all locked behind proprietary software that only dealer-level diagnostic tools can fully access. You can buy a basic OBD2 scanner, sure, it'll read simple codes, but try to go deeper? Try to actually program a new key, calibrate a new sensor, or reset an advanced system, and you hit a wall. A wall that says, authorized personnel only. And here's the part that stings. This wasn't necessary. Manufacturers made a choice to lock these systems. They lobbied against legislation that would have required them to share repair data openly. They created what's called a repair monopoly, where the only person legally and technically allowed to fully fix your car is them. That is not an accident. That is a revenue strategy. It starts small. Your check engine light comes on. Old car? You grab a $30 scanner, read the code, fix the issue, clear the code, done. 20 minutes maybe. New car? The code is a starting point, not an answer. You need a second tool to confirm the diagnosis. Then the fix requires a software update only the dealer can authorize. Then the update requires a calibration. Then the calibration costs $180 in labor alone. And none of that includes the part. What would have cost you $40 in a Saturday morning just became a $600 dealer visit. And it escalates further, because now your car is in the system. The dealer has your vehicle's data. They know every code that's ever been thrown. They know your mileage patterns. They know when you're due for service, and they will use that information to generate recommendations. Some necessary, many not. You're not a customer anymore. You're a subscription. Let's make this real for a second. The average American now spends over $1,200 per year on vehicle maintenance and repairs, and that number has been climbing every single year. Independent shops are closing at record rates because they literally cannot afford the manufacturer-level diagnostic tools required to properly service modern vehicles. What does that mean for you? Fewer choices, higher prices, less leverage. When there's only one place that can fix your car, they can charge whatever they want, and you'll pay it, because what's the alternative? Not drive? And here's the part that hits hardest for a lot of people. It's not just money, it's the feeling. That feeling of being capable, of understanding the machine you own, of putting your hands on something, figuring it out, and fixing it yourself. That feeling, that independence, is being systematically engineered out of existence. Your grandfather fixed his own engine with basic tools and common sense. Your father at least changed his own oil. And now you're being told you need manufacturer authorization to replace a battery. But here's where it gets worse. This isn't just about new cars. If you're buying used, thinking you'll get an older, simpler vehicle you can actually work on, manufacturers thought of that too. Okay, let's talk about what this means practically. Because this video isn't just about making you angry, it's about making you smarter. First, know your cutoff year. Generally speaking, vehicles manufactured before 2010 are significantly more DIY friendly. The systems are simpler, the software is less invasive, and aftermarket support is massive. If true mechanical independence matters to you, older vehicles are still your best option. Second, invest in the right scanner. A basic OBD2 reader is not enough anymore. Tools like the Autel MaxiSys or Launch X31 give you much deeper access, bidirectional control, module programming, live data streams. They're expensive up front, but they pay for themselves fast. Third, know which brands fight you less. Not all manufacturers are equally aggressive about locking you out from repairing your own vehicle. Toyota and Honda still have relatively open repair ecosystems compared to brands like BMW, Mercedes, or newer GM products. Research the specific make and model before you buy, not after. Fourth, support right to repair. There is active legislation in multiple countries right now fighting for your legal right to repair your own vehicle. In the US, the right to repair movement has gained significant ground. Follow it, support it, because this fight directly affects how much you'll spend on your car for the rest of your life. Fifth, build a relationship with a good independent mechanic now, before you need one urgently. Independent shops that have invested in professional-level diagnostic tools are worth their weight in gold. Find them, trust them. They're fighting the same system you are.
Remember that specific tactic I mentioned earlier? The one they use that most people never see coming? It's called parts pairing, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Certain manufacturers, and this list is growing, program their vehicles to only accept parts that have been digitally paired to the vehicle through their software. Install a new door handle, screen, camera, or sensor that hasn't been authorized through their system, and the car rejects it, throws a permanent error, sometimes disables the feature entirely. BMW does it with headlights. Ford does it with backup cameras. John Deere, yes, tractors, has been doing it for years, and it's spreading to more car brands every single model year. This means even if you buy the correct part, the exact same part the factory uses, it won't work unless a dealer activates it. That activation costs money every time. You don't just own the car, you're renting the right to fully use it. Think about what you're actually buying when you buy a modern vehicle. You're buying a machine that tells you what it will let you do with it. You're buying a product that gets less repairable over time, intentionally. You're buying into an ecosystem where the seller has more control over your purchase than you do. That is the reality of modern car ownership, and most people don't find out until they're already in it, staring at a $2,000 repair bill for something their father would have fixed in a driveway on a Sunday. The system isn't broken, it's working exactly as designed. The question is, now that you know, what are you going to do about it? They didn't take away your ability to fix your car. They built cars you're not supposed to fix. There's a difference. And knowing that difference will save you thousands. Most people figure that out too late. You just figured it out today.